right, good evening, team. Here is another free course for you to help you in your trading journey. I am Coach Avalos coming at you from Bullring Trading. So tonight, I want to share a few things with you guys on trading because I see that a lot of people are not doing well, especially now when the market is so volatile. I'm going to walk you through some key factors that are hurting your trading, okay? So the first thing that I want to talk about is if you're going to trade, you need to have some rules, okay? So what are the rules? Think of them as your company mission, okay? If you go into any organization, you will see they have a mission statement on what they want to accomplish, but then they have organizational rules, okay? So I want you to go through, and I'm going to give an example of some of my rules. When you start trading, you should be able to write down a few rules that you're not going to break, okay? You're going to follow, and I'm going to walk you through each and every one, okay? So here we go. The first one, you need a trading plan. So what's your plan? You're going to buy $100 worth of trades. You're going to buy 200. You're going to buy 1,000. You have to have a plan. When do you get in? When do you get out? Okay. So just imagine you were flying a rocket to the moon. Would you not put a plan together? So why not do this with your personal investments? Number two, show up. The rocket's not going to fly itself. Okay. Someone has to guide it. So just think of it as a business. You're running a business and you need to show up daily. You have to open the doors, right? So imagine if Walmart didn't open their doors daily, what would happen, right? How many customers would actually come back? How many people would really have faith in that company? So if you're not showing up, eventually your psychology is going to kick in and you're going to lose faith in yourself. So make sure you show up each day and you drive this rocket right where you want it to go, okay? All right, rule number 3, do your homework, study the market. What's going on with Apple? What's going on with Microsoft? What's going on with Tesla? Okay, what are they doing? How do their financials look? Okay, because depending on what you're going to do, if you're going to buy stocks or if you're going to trade options, okay, if that company has a chance of tanking, which means that the stock price will fall, you might want to know that. So make sure you do your homework, okay? 4, use a stop loss, okay? When do I stop my losses? So if I invest $100 and it goes the wrong way, do I just watch it, which is what a lot of people do? They think that the trade is coming back. And usually it does not. So when do you stop your losses? Is it at 95? So maybe you create a rule and say, my stop loss is 5%. Maybe it's 10. And you say at 90, I get out. Why is that important? Because now you have $90 you can reinvest and try again versus somebody who puts in $100 and then they let it go all the way down to 25 and you could have had a lot of chances, okay, to retrade had you stopped at 95 or 90, okay? All right, next one, paper trade 100 times. If you're not used to trading, trade 100 times with fake money. I can't understand why somebody would trade with their own money and learn, okay? Most traders are going to lose, especially if you're new. So for me, minimum 100 trades. And to be honest with you, I would do 500 trades, okay? Let's say you, at some point after 100, decide to invest and you do one investment with your own money, okay? Continue to paper trade. What's going to happen is you're going to build a pretty good habit of entering and exiting and setting a stop loss. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to do it with your own money because if you lose, you start losing faith. You don't know if you should get in. You're wondering, what did I do? What do I do next? Paper trading will fix all that stuff, okay? So now I'm going to go through a couple scenarios of how you can enter and exit, whether you're buying trades, whether you're doing option contracts, okay? This is not financial advice. This is education for you. So you need to understand. Now, this is just my rules, okay? Simple rules. You can create your own rules. You can have 10 rules. You can have 15 rules, okay? So one of the rules I've used in the past is if I lose really big, okay, which it happened, I won't trade for the next day. Sometimes I won't trade for 48 hours because I got to get my mind right. I got to do my homework. I got to create a new plan because the original plan wasn't working, okay? The other part too is if I win big, okay, I stop trading. Why? Because you're going to make some bad trades because you think you're unstoppable now. So make sure you create additional rules. But these 5 rules here, I think will help you out. And I'm going to walk you through a few examples of trading with these rules and how to enter and how to exit. And we'll walk through some indicators that'll help you figure out when to enter into these trades. Okay? All right, so here we go. All right, team, here we go. So I'm going to start out with showing you the platform that I use for understanding the stock market and where's it going. If you're on Thinkorswim, they have their own platform, which is pretty good. If you're on Webull, they have one. If you want to learn about other ones that I think are pretty good and you want to jump into them, make sure you send me a direct message or leave me a comment below and I can recommend some for you. Okay, so I'm going to go through this, and there are hundreds of tutorial videos on all these platforms. TradingView has their own, so I'm going to walk you through a few steps that I do here. So we have a totally dark screen, so I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do with this. So I turned everything off so you understand how to turn it on and off. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go up here where we have this little eye, and I'm going to click on it, and that's going to turn on my candles for this stock here. Okay, Geo Group. Down here, I have my indicators and any drawings I do. So I just click and turn that eye on, and you'll be able to see some drawings I've already been working on and some other indicators I have here. Okay, it's a lot of information. If you're new, again, my recommendation is that remember, you do your homework. Okay, this is part of it. Go learn the tutorial videos before you decide to go lose money, because you will lose money if you're not focused in doing this. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of some of these drawings just to make it easier for you, and I'm going to turn off some of the indicators I have here, and I'll walk through some of these indicators with you in another video. But this is a stock, Geo Group, and you can look them up. It's a REIT that I've been thinking of getting into just because of some of the research I've done. I don't want to recommend it to you, but definitely if you decide to join our group, I will go over it in the group, because I do videos, private videos for the group sometimes, short, quick 1-2 minute videos, and I give a little bit of guidance and education on what's going on with some of the stocks. Okay. All right, so I want to know what's going on with Geo. A few other things you can do here. I clicked on the settings, and I'm going to turn on the watermark, and you can see Geo in the background. See here, you can see Geo's on the 15-minute. Okay, I have all the time frames here that I look at for entry or exit. Okay, so I'm going to put Geo on the daily, and you see how this got all out of whack. I'll go down here, and I have a reset chart symbol, and I just click on it, and then I know where the stock is going, because now my chart is reset. All right, so here we go. I'm going to get an arrow and just make this very simple for you. Okay, here you can see the stock's trending up, right? So it's going up. On the right hand side, you see the prices and where it's gone. So it was around $5 and maybe 35 cents. Now it's at $8.29. That little red block is the actual price it is currently at. Okay, stock market is closed right now, but in the morning that red block will move up and down depending where the stock goes. Also, you can see the stock started here, okay, a little higher, went down. Red candles means people are selling. Green candles, they're buying. Okay, So you can see there's been a lot of sell-off, and now there's a lot of buying going on with this stock. Okay, I think the stock is going to continue up, and this is why I'm investing in it. Okay, now how do I enter into this stock? When is a good time? Well, excuse me, we have a couple indicators here I want to share with you. One is the RSI, Relative Strength Index. Okay, Relative Strength Index will show me when the stock is being sold off, and it shows me when people are buying. Okay, now right in here, if you look at the 70 level, and I have these lines outlined, okay, if you add this on your platforms, usually it comes standard. It already plots them for you. So right around 70, the stock usually gets what we call overbought. Now it'll drop once that happens. Okay, and if you started here and then the stock went all the way up here, most people will start selling the stock, then it'll come back down here. Some people will start buying it again and then sell again, and you can see they keep selling it at the top. Now what happens at the bottom? They buy. Okay, now right in here you can see the strength of the stock. Okay, I have a line here, and you can pick moving averages, and we'll go over that in another video, but the moving averages basically tells me where has the stock been in the last 10 days, 20 days, 30 days. It gives you an average. And so I pick 50 for mine, and anytime it goes above the 50, I know there's some strength coming. So there's just another guidance for me. Okay, now here you can see that the stock is going up. Okay, and now I got into oversold again, and it wants to come back down, which is fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the stock to come back down around this area here. Okay, and then I'm going to buy it. Okay, so that's one of the things I look at, Relative Strength Index, RSI. Now the other one that I like to look at as confirmation and gives me guidance is the MACD, or Moving Average Conversion Divergence. Okay, now there's a lot of information. There's a lot of educational videos out there for free on YouTube, even Google. I suggest you look at as many as you can, because I'll tell you right now, I went through probably 100 videos at least in my first 90 days. Okay, so here we have these two lines, right? Simple. It tells us same thing as the RSI, but what I want to know here is it going to diverge or convert, right? So this here, the red and green bars, is called a histogram. Dark green means a lot of people are buying. Light green, they're not buying as much anymore. Okay, dark red, they're selling it. Light red, not many people are selling it anymore, and it could turn green again. So you can see here where it went from green, light green, red, light red, and then it could do the same thing again. You get a little green, and then it'll go back down, and people start selling it off, and so on and so on. Okay, but at least this tells you what is going on with the stock. Okay, so let's say if we take like the last 30 days, you can see that the stock had a nice run up here, right? So I'll leave my arrow there, and you can see here we have the same thing, right? With the price action, see, price went up. Okay, so you look at the arrow we had on the MACD, right? It's following the same thing. And then you look at RSI. Okay, so if all three of these are headed up, then I understand this is a good time to buy potentially, but I wait for the RSI to be at the bottom so I can get a good run up. Okay, all right, so now let's say I want to buy the stock, and let's come over here, and I use what I showed you in the RSI. This is a moving average. It's called EMA, exponential moving average. And anytime a stock goes above the EMA, it's a good entry point for me. Okay, and you can see why 50 EMA. Well, let me tell you. When it goes above the 50 EMA, it's usually a strength signal. means a lot of folks are buying it. And if you see here, okay, if you follow me on this, okay, one candle on the daily above this, okay, is when I like to enter. And of course, I set a stop loss. Don't forget what we talked about, okay, stop loss. So I'll walk you through a stop loss in a second. So I enter the trade here. It's about 656, and I just let it keep going up and up and up. Okay, when do I get out? Well, that's all personal preference. Okay, I suggest 5% gain. Learn how to win at 5, and then you'll learn how to win at 10. If you don't do it at 5%, you're not going to do it at 10 or 15. You're going to get a little bit of paralysis analysis, and you're going to start wondering, is it still going? Is it still going? Another rule that you can create for yourself. Okay, so now if the stock, okay, when I enter here, if the stock keeps going up, for me personally, I'll watch this line, okay, because you can see here I went above the line, and then I started getting red candles. Okay, first red candle is my first indication that maybe I should get out. But once it crosses here, then it's really time to get out. So again, it just depends on your personal preference and your rules. Okay, so this is very simple for me. Okay, I follow this line, and then what's going to happen, and this is what I want you to do, is, okay, do your homework. I'll teach you how to do your homework on these trades. Okay, so if I squeeze this in, we can see a little bit more history on Geo. So we can see Geo since last October, okay, right up here. And what I do is I like to plot how many times did Geo cross the 50. Okay, that's one time. Okay, and let me move over here. And then I have, it kind of bounced off there, so I would take that as a entry point in case I got out. Okay, but see, now I went down. Okay, if you play options contract, here's where people buy puts. Okay, so I'm going to count that, and that's another one. Then here didn't really cross, it kept going down. Then we had an entry point there. Then we had another one right in here. Okay, then another one in here. Okay, and remember, this is the only one I'm pointing out as a put. And let me change the color of that to red so that you guys don't get confused. So that's when I would get into a put. Okay, but you see what I'm talking about? There's a lot of entry points here, and it looks a little kind of congested, but if you stretch this out, okay, and you have a tool over here, a plus sign, okay, let's say I just want to see these few days here or a couple weeks, you can see that this entry point, the line at 614, went to a high of 677. Okay, now depending on your portfolio, you decide how much you invest. Okay, but I would suggest, okay, that you paper trade this 100 times. Okay, and paper trade whichever stock you think is the best to you, but base it off a company that you believe is going to do well. Okay, you don't want to get into a company that's not doing well and then you're just hoping it goes up, hoping it goes up. Okay, but anyways, here we go. So we have some good entry points here on a daily basis. So this is a good place for you to start. Okay, understanding your indicators, understanding what the stock is doing. Okay, and the cool part about TradingView, like I said, okay, learn your stock. Okay, they have a nice little window here where I can, and I'm going to open this up a little bit so you guys can understand what TradingView provides. I can just cover my watch list here, and I can see their earnings reports down here, and then I can go through so I can see if they hit or miss. And then I can see really cool bar graphs here. And then here's my favorite. technical analysis, which is what I just showed you. The indicators say it's time to buy. Okay, kind of like what I told you. Analysts, so these are the folks at Wall Street. They work at Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and they analyze stocks, and they're saying to buy it as well. So a lot of cool stuff in here for you to play with, a lot of tutorial videos. Make sure you watch them all and make sure that you guys are doing your homework, okay? This is easy. This is for educational purposes. I'm not telling you to buy Geo or anything else, okay? I am telling you, learn it, do your homework, and paper trade it. So I hope this helps. Again, if you have any questions, feel free, send me a DM or leave a comment below. Hope this helps, guys. Take care.